Today is my birthday. It is October 12th and I am 49 years old today. And what I decided to do today was to have you help me make my vegan birthday cake. So I make my birthday cake every single year. I love making my own cake. I love trying to decide what kind of flavors I want, change it up, make something new, do something crazy, do something traditional, do something original. I used to make cakes for a business and I don't anymore, and I do miss it sometimes, but today is we're going to make my birthday cake together, and next week is Patrick's birthday on October 19th. So maybe if this goes well, we'll make his birthday cake together too. So come on, let's make my vegan birthday cake. Whenever I make a cake, most of the time, I make them ahead. So these are frozen cake layers. So I have a little frosting under there to keep it stuck to my cake round. So I'm gonna have that, see it's frozen. So first I'm gonna do, I already put some frosting in a piping bag, and I'm going to do a little circle, and that's gonna hold my filling in. And this year I'm being really creative with my filling because I really love the filling that I chose. It's kind of a double filling. Having the cake being a little frozen actually helps with your filling too, and it actually helps you frost the cake too. So I hope that you all can see this really well. But first I'm doing some raspberry preserves in here because I really love raspberry and chocolate together, but I didn't want to just do raspberry. So I'm just gonna spoon this in and just kind of do it with a spoon. I have some cake spatulas and things like that actually right below my cake turner here. My cake, what is it called? A cake turner? I don't know. I don't get technical. I have a lot of kitchen things. I don't get technical with the names for everything, but I just love all my kitchen gadgets and things like that. And I do not have an awesome kitchen. I mean, as you can see behind me, I have countertops that are pieced together by board because we had part of the cooktop stove kind of like died, so we had to change everything up, and we did not want to do the whole kitchen over. So you know what, we make it work, and that's it. I love my kitchen. So there's the raspberries. So I'm just going to grab a spoon, and then we're going to put on the chocolate pastry cream. So I made chocolate pastry cream, and I got this recipe for, this is like an Italian pastry cream, I would say. Plus I got the recipe from Plant-Based School. They're right on Instagram too, and you can find them online. And I like a lot of their Italian recipes because they're already vegan. I do veganize my own, but sometimes I don't want to do that. Sometimes I want to just have a recipe that's already vegan. And my advice when I used to teach cooking classes to a lot of my students was to, I know you want to redo grandma's cookie recipe and stuff like that and veganize it, but I think you should try to find a cookie similar online that already has a vegan recipe for it, because I think this way you'll definitely have more success, and then maybe it will help you to veganize, your grandma's cookies or whatever. So that's my advice for that. Now there's my pastry cream. There's a lot of this left, so we'll be having a huge batch for some reason. I was going to do 3 cake layers, and maybe I still will, and I'll pause the video and do 3. I did make 3 the other day when I had some time and froze it, so I could. It would be a really humongous cake. So I don't think I made enough frosting for that, but that's fine. But I think this cake is really good. I think 2 layers is perfect. So I'm gonna move my camera back a little bit so now you can see like that whole cake. I put this on, I'm gonna just push that down a little bit. I don't want all those fillings to come out on me because that would be a lot of mess to clean up, but you can fix any problem. So you're gonna see this when I spin it around. I'm gonna just pipe some frosting in between those layers there. I'm gonna start out with that, and then I'm gonna put my pastry bag down. Here's those cake spatulas. I call them cake knives. I don't know if Everyone calls them smashed rolls. But that's what I do. So then I'm just gonna go into my frosting bowl. And I know this is kind of hard to see using a phone because I don't have like any kind of fancy camera stuff. I have fancy microphones for a podcast, so someday I'll do a podcast. So actually, if you guys want to comment, if anyone watches this video, which maybe no one will ever watch this video, but in case anyone watching this video would like me to do, or Patrick, or both of us, or one of us, to do a podcast, it won't hurt my feelings if everyone's like, oh, I want Patrick to do a podcast, but we can do one together or we can do one separate. But anyway, if you want one, tell us what you want a podcast about. We have some ideas, we have all the equipment, and we are hoping to get that up and running one of these days, even though we're very, very busy with the horses, but we want to do more for horses all the time and for all animals too. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys today. It's a lot of fun. I wish I poured some water for myself because I'm getting parched talking, but I have the gift of gab, so I guess that works. So now I'm just like frosting the cake, and you know what? This I'm doing in just kind of a freestyle way, and I'm just spinning my cake spinner, and you know, it's the way it is. You know, we do things. I probably picked up bad habits along the way. I have no formal cake training, no formal cooking training. All of my cooking came from home bakers, home cooks, restaurant cooks, people, you know, friends that I have that came from different countries that really taught me how to make a lot of different foods. So that's why I love food so much, and I love cooking, and I love feeding people. So I still love to do that. So I try to cook as much as I can, even though some days I'm really, really busy. But today we're making this cake. So I did vanilla frosting today. I used, and I think you'll see in the video, I used the Country Crock plant-based butter sticks. I really, really love that. I'm sorry you guys can't see me. It's kind of weird maybe to not see me at all, but there we are. So now that I'm doing the cake at this angle, so I use the Country Crock plant-based sticks. I really, really like that for frosting. It already has that kind of buttery flavor. I didn't use any shortening at all. I really like it like this. It might be a little bit hard to, but you see there's no crumbs because the cake layers are frozen. So that is a super duper tip. You know, find your favorite frosting recipe, find your favorite filling recipe, find your favorite cake recipe, and then just use it over and over and over. You don't have to try a million different cake recipes. There's probably only a few cake recipes I use, and then I just tweak them with flavor. I don't, you know, I think you just go with what works, and I think that's a great idea. So that's what I did today. I went with what works. And then, okay, so now I decided that I'm gonna do some ganache. So I already filled up a piping bag, and this is Patrick's favorite Beatles album, Rubber Soul. So we have the Rubber Soul glass. It's a drinking glass, but I use it to put a piping bag in, and get a pair of scissors, and I'm gonna cut. Hopefully it's still warm enough so it'll drip really well. It feels like it's moving, but I'm a little worried because it's starting to cool down, probably a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna twist that up, and then I'm just gonna snip the end of it off right into my cup so that it doesn't wind up in my food. And then I'm going to start dripping. So you'll see it when I turn around because I cannot do it backwards. So I'm just, and I'm really sorry you can't see it backwards. So I guess I need a camera person, so I don't know. I wish I had time to do more cooking videos, and maybe I do because I feel like the lighting looks pretty good, and it's only my kitchen lighting, and this is just my cell phone. So here we go. Now we have, you can see that. We have some drips going down, and then I like to fill the whole top, so I don't know what I want to do. I have extra clean cake knives here, so I don't know if I should just do kind of like a zigzag, and I can just show you if I can fill it in, kind of like a zigzag like this, because that's kind of fancy, and then that really will impress your friends, like just doing like some crazy ganache zigzags. And so it looks like it came from a bakery. And then there's the top of the cake. So I think we will leave it like that. And we're gonna put this right back in my little mug. And then I'm just gonna add some more frosting to this bag. Vegan buttercream. I'm gonna add some more of that. Oh, I do have enough. I'm so happy I have enough because I didn't really make a lot. I knew I wasn't filling the cake, so I didn't make like this huge amount, but I do want to do some piping, so I'm gonna fill as much as I can. So I've been baking vegan stuff for a number of years, probably, well, since I went vegan. So I've been vegan 14 years this year. I turned 49 years old today, so I'm gonna be 50 next year, guys. That's kind of crazy, right? But I don't feel 49. I don't know what it feels like to be 49. But anyway, so I really should go buy some fresh raspberries for this because I think it would be awesome to go with the filling and everything, and that chocolate pastry cream is going to be so good. And so I'm just going to pipe around the cake, and I'll kind of show you guys if you can see. I'm trying to move my camera again. I'm so sorry. I'm not practiced at this whole like videoing stuff. Like I can talk forever, but I'm not very practiced at videoing. I guess I need someone behind me too, so we can work on that. Maybe there's a way. Maybe someone has an idea like that I can, I don't know, I need a camera person. And Patrick's really not good at it. I mean, I love him a lot, but he's not really good at like videoing. He takes okay pictures, but not really videoing, but he's really, really good at everything else he does. So, especially being a voice for the animals. So you can see, maybe you can see that it's starting to lose a little bit of the shininess up here. So it's starting to set, but it's probably not set enough for me to be doing more of this. So I am going to put this in the fridge for a couple minutes to kind of let the chocolate set up so we can make some sort of design on top. And I don't have fresh raspberries, but I just remembered that I do have something so awesome that will decorate this cake. So I'll be back. Okay, so I am back. I literally had this in the fridge for probably 2 or 3 minutes. It did not take long. This is a little tacky, but it's going to be fine for piping. And I remembered before I left that I had some really cool idea to put on top, and I have maraschino cherries. I think that's how you say it in Italian. I don't know. Are they Italian? I don't know. I mean, sono italiana, but sono americana, so who knows? Oh, our refrigerator door's not shut. Okay, so anyway, I felt a little cold air. So I'm going to do that on top. So we already have this beautiful, like, this came from a bakery. It's chocolate raspberry. It's got the beautiful chocolate drizzle crisscross on top. So now I'm going to slash my piping bag. So now we're going to do some piping. So I like to do a few little things in the middle because I feel like all bakeries do that, right? And then I like to kind of do it like this so I can be kind of symmetrical, and then decide like how I want it to go and how much. And like I said, I did not make a lot of frosting, so I might run out, but I think that's totally okay because I think this is looking good. And guess what? You can always just add a little bit more because we're gonna pop those cherries on top, and then, you know, it'll be totally fine. And then, you know, who's gonna know? So I have a few with the stem, and I left those on top, and I'm doing those first. My bracelet is going to hit this cake, so I like to do the ones with the stem on top, and then I put them, what I do is I take them right out of the jar and I rinse them first, and then I put them on paper towels to kind of get them to dry a little bit so they're not running, you know, dripping all over the cake. And then you just want to place those cherries right like that. Oh, this looks so good. I can't wait to have this tonight. And here it is. This is, oh, I totally have enough cherries. See that? I really know what I'm doing, I think, right? So, and there is my birthday cake, chocolate cake with raspberry filling, chocolate pastry filling, pastry cream filling, which is just like, oh, I got so much of that in a bowl right there. And then, so we have, remember that little Beatles cup? So we have a little bit of that chocolate in there. So you know what? I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do like a little, and then I'm gonna like change direction. I'm not gonna change direction. I'm just gonna like kind of crisscross what I did so we have a little bit more of a design. And then what I found, and it could be a little bit messy, and if it's messy, then I just call it rustica. So it's rustic, right? So here's our cake. I also have some sprinkles that they're chocolate sprinkles with some birthday ones that are kind of in there. So we can do some of those maybe around the outside here. It's not easy to do, but we can kind of do a little bit of those. So there's a little bit of fancy, you know, Italian. I'm making this an Italian cake since it has Italian pastry cream inside, and I'm Italian. But so we're gonna get those little sprinkles on there. Without making too much of a mess, we can actually do it without making a mess at all by using a spoon. So a little espresso spoon. You got to see my mismatched kitchen back there. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's pretty bad. But anyway, so we can do it like this, and then we get them on the floor, and it'll be okay because I can sweep. So there it is. So thank you so much for, this is really on my birthday. It's October 12th right now. And this is what I decided to do on my birthday today, is make my cake with all of you. So I really hope that you guys had fun. I can answer any questions. And I would really like to teach people how to do more vegan baking, because there's so many little things that you can do to make any vegan recipe come out fantastic. Sometimes it's just about whisking those dry ingredients enough. Sometimes it's just knowing, building that kitchen intuition, like when to take the cake out of the oven and what to do next, and how to make a pastry cream and have it come out like totally perfect. Like, I'm totally gonna eat some of this soon because it is a really, really good pastry cream. I mean, check this out, you guys. It's amazing. So anyway, I will post pictures of myself eating this cake later because it is not time, which is very sad, to eat my cake. But anyway, thank you so much for celebrating my birthday with me. And I also have, I have to plug it because the horses are my number one, is I do have a fundraiser for Horse Racing Wrongs for my birthday and also Patrick's birthday. And also his birthday is next Thursday on the 19th. And also have been, Horse Racing Wrongs has been a nonprofit for 6 years this year. So this September, October. So that's when we became a nonprofit. So anyway, I would appreciate your support as always, and to help the horses and to help all animals. And so you guess you can really have your vegan cake and eat it too. Is that my new tagline? Will there be more videos? Who knows? So I hope you had fun watching it, and thank you again for celebrating my birthday with me.